Welcome back. Today, we're breaking down exactly how to write a short story from scratch, even if you've never written one before. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear roadmap for writing your first short story. Let's get into it. So what exactly is a short story? Think of it like a photograph compared to a movie. A novel is a long film. It has time to show you everything: the backstory, the slow build, the side characters, the quiet moments in between. A short story is a single photograph. It captures one moment, one emotion, one turning point, and leaves the rest to your imagination. The key word here is focus. A short story isn't just a novel with the fat trimmed off. It's a completely different animal. It's about taking one small slice of life, one conversation, one decision, one discovery, and making it feel enormous. A good short story usually runs between 1,000 and 7,500 words. That's not a lot of space. And that's the whole point. You don't have room to waste. Every sentence has to earn its place on the page. Here's the biggest mistake beginners make. They try to tell an entire life in a short story. They want to show the character's childhood, their career, their marriage, and their retirement, all in 3,000 words. That's not a short story. That's a novel with a word limit. Instead, pick one moment, one scene, one turning point. Think of it like a slice of bread from a loaf. You're not showing the whole loaf. You're showing one slice, and that slice has to taste like the whole thing. Here's an example. Instead of writing a story about two best friends growing apart over 3 years, write the scene where one of them sits down at a different lunch table for the very first time. That's your moment. Everything else, the years of shared jokes, the quiet drifting, the awkwardness, lives in the background, felt but not shown. The writing trick is to ask yourself, what is the one moment in this story where everything changes? Start there, or start just before it. That's your short story. Every short story needs a character who wants something, not a vague, abstract desire, a specific, concrete want. Not she wanted to fit in. That's too big, too fuzzy. Instead, she wanted to win the final slot on the varsity track team before practice ended at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. See the difference? The second one gives you a deadline, a location, a specific goal. It gives you pressure, and pressure is what makes a story move. Here's a quick exercise. Write this sentence: my character wants to blank, but blank. For example, my character wants to confess to her friend that she accidentally broke his laptop, but he is about to enter the final round of an esports tournament. That's it. That's your story. The want creates the goal. The but creates the conflict. Together they create tension, and tension is what keeps a reader turning the page. A want alone isn't enough. You need an obstacle. Without a problem, you don't have a story. You have a to-do list. Think of it this way. A want is the destination. The problem is the wall between your character and that destination. Let's go back to our example. She wants to own up to breaking the laptop, but he's in the middle of a high-stakes tournament. That's the problem. It's not just a logistical issue, it's an emotional one. If she speaks up now, she ruins his focus and risks his anger. If she stays silent, she has to watch him compete while carrying the guilt. The writing trick is that the best problems in short stories are emotional problems, not just physical ones. A locked door is easy to open. A locked heart is much harder. Readers don't care about the door, they care about what's on the other side of it. Here's another example. A student wants to hand in a project to save their grade, but the project contains an original poem that secretly reveals how isolated they've felt all year. Now the problem isn't just will they get an A? The problem is, are they ready for people to actually know them? This is one of the most powerful tools in short story writing, and it's the one beginners struggle with the most. Start late. Don't begin your story at the character's birth. Don't begin it with them waking up, brushing their teeth, and having breakfast. Start it in the middle of the moment that matters. Drop the reader into the scene like a stone into a pond. End early. Don't wrap everything up with a neat bow. Don't explain what happens next. End the story at the moment of maximum tension, or just after the emotional peak. Trust your reader to sit with it. Here's what that looks like in practice. Instead of starting with Sarah had lived in the apartment for 3 years. Every morning she made coffee, checked her phone, and walked to the bus stop. But today was different. Today she found a note under her door start like this. The note under the door was written in her mother's handwriting. Sarah hadn't seen that handwriting in 11 years. See the difference? The second version drops you right into the moment. No setup, no warm-up. Just the thing that matters immediately. And for the ending, instead of writing, Sarah read the note, cried, packed a bag, and left the apartment. She drove to her mother's house, arrived at 3 in the morning, and finally got the answers she'd been looking for. It was a long journey, but it was worth it. End like this. Sarah read the note twice. Then she folded it, put it in her coat pocket, and walked out the door. She didn't look back. The reader doesn't need to know what happened next. They need to feel what just happened, and that feeling is what makes a short story unforgettable. In a novel, you can switch between characters. In a short story, you usually can't. You don't have the space. Pick one character, stay inside their head, let the reader see the world through their eyes only. This isn't a limitation, it's a superpower. When you stay inside one mind, every detail in the scene becomes their detail. They notice what they notice, they miss what they miss. And that gap between what the character sees and what the reader knows creates tension. Here's an example. A student is at a group project meeting, and she's the only one who doesn't realize the rest of the group created a separate group chat without her. You stay in her head. She sees them laughing at an inside joke on a phone screen. She thinks it's funny too. The reader knows better. That gap between what she sees and what the reader knows is the entire story. The writing trick is, if you're tempted to switch point of view, ask yourself whether this scene works if you only show it through one person's eyes. If the answer is yes, stick with one. If it's no, you might be writing a novel, not a short story. Here's something that trips up a lot of beginners. They think a short story needs a clear, satisfying ending, a problem solved, a question answered, a bow tied. The best short stories don't do that. They end on a question, or a realization, or a shift. Think of it like a door. A bad ending slams the door shut and locks it. A great ending opens the door, lets the reader see what's on the other side, and then pulls it gently closed. The reader is left standing in the hallway, looking at the door, wondering. Here's an example. A man spends the whole story trying to decide whether to tell his daughter the truth about her father. At the end, he opens his mouth to speak. She looks up from her book, and the story ends. We never hear what he says. We never know if he tells the truth. But the reader feels the weight of that silence, and that feeling is more powerful than any answer could be. The writing trick is, if your ending feels too tidy, too neat, too resolved, try cutting the last paragraph. Then cut the last sentence of the one before that. Keep cutting until the ending feels like a held breath. That's where your story lives. The first draft of a short story is not a short story. It's a rough sketch. Your job in revision is to cut, and cut some more. Here's a simple rule. For every 1,000 words in your first draft, you should be able to cut at least 200 in revision. If you can't find 200 words to cut, you probably wrote 200 words you didn't need. What do you cut first? Cut the adjectives and adverbs. She ran quickly and angrily becomes she sprinted. One word, stronger. Cut the explanation. If the reader can figure it out, don't tell them. He was furious becomes he threw the glass against the wall. Cut the setup. If the first 2 paragraphs don't create tension, cut them. Start later. The writing trick is to read your story out loud. If you stumble over a sentence, it's too long. If you lose track of what's happening, it's too confusing. If you feel nothing, it's not specific enough. Your ears and your gut are better editors than your eyes. Here's a complete short story concept that uses every step we just talked about. The moment a teenager finds an anonymous, mean note left inside their gym locker on the day of student council elections. They want to walk up to the podium and deliver their speech with total confidence. The problem, the note mentions something only their best friend knows. Start late. The story opens with them standing by their open locker, holding the folded note, while the principal announces over the intercom that speeches start in 2 minutes. One point of view. We stay in their head the whole time. We never see who wrote it. We only see the friend sitting in the front row, smiling and waving, and we feel the protagonist's growing uncertainty. End early. They walk up to the microphone, unfold their speech paper, and look out at the crowd. And the story ends. We don't know if they give the speech or address the note. The reader decides, that's a short story, not a novel, not a life. Just one moment, one voice, one choice, and it hits harder than a 300-page book could. If your short story feels lifeless, it's usually because you're telling instead of showing. Here's the test. Read your first paragraph. If it sounds like a summary, she was sad, He was angry, they argued for hours. That's telling. Now rewrite it. She stood at the window, pressing her forehead against the cold glass. He sat on the couch, staring at the TV that wasn't on. Neither of them spoke. The silence lasted 40 minutes. Same information, but now the reader feels it. That's showing. The writing trick is every time you write a feeling word, sad, happy, angry, nervous, cross it out. Then ask yourself, what does that feeling look like? What does the character do when they feel it? Replace the word with the action. Let's bring it all together. Start with a single moment, not a whole life. Give your character a specific want, not a vague desire. Add a problem that creates real tension. Start late and end early. Drop the reader in, pull them out before they're ready. Stick to one point of view, one mind, one perspective. Let your ending be a question, not an answer. Revise ruthlessly. Cut the fat, keep the muscle. A short story isn't about having a big idea. It's about having a small idea and telling it with such precision that it feels enormous. You don't need a 300-page canvas. You need one perfect brushstroke. Now it's your turn. Pick a moment from your own life, a conversation, a discovery, a decision, and write it in 1,500 words. Start late, end early. Trust your reader, and when you're done, read it out loud. If it makes you feel something, you've written a short story. If this helped, give the video a like and subscribe for more writing tips. See you in the next one.